All right, we are back. It's episode 3 of the Strange Exchange. And joining us today, of course, as always, the wonderful co-host, the lunatic himself, Andy Rodder. How you doing
Thank
today,
you.
bud?
Thank you for the amazing entrance. I'm doing just great. I'm so excited to talk here with Mr. Raghu about all kinds of fun stuff. Um, hopefully about dildos or something.
Oh, just fantastic elegance.
Wow.
And our special guest today, we've got a good friend of ours, Brandon Raghu. He is joining us here today, and he's got a lot on his mind. But tell us a little bit about yourself there, Raghu.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be on this famous podcast. I'm honored. My
Oh, don't
agent is
flatter us.
taking 10% commission, by the way. Um,
Oh,
Ow.
How do you want that
financial
payment?
advisors.
Do you want that on PayPal? That I don't fucking have.
legally, I need a check, written check.
We'll send them
Well,
some cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I'll send him some
I
Bitcoin.
expect it in a couple of weeks. So
We'll send
we'll
you
talk.
some free meals at Taco Bell. How about that?
There you go.
That's fine too.
I like that. Give
He'll
him some
take
gift cards.
half of a burrito.
You're just
There
not
you
going to get a Christmas gift. See, that's the catch here.
Okay. A little bit about me. Well, Rob and I, would you say we grew up together? Essentially, we kind of grew up together.
High school for sure.
Yeah.
So I get, whatever.
Yeah, we grew up together. Went to high school. Met Andy a couple years ago now, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
no,
Come on, you know that I'm the light of you guys' life.
Oh,
that's true. That's true. You're
You scoffed
ray of
at it.
sunshine. A little bit about me. I co-manage a personal training business. I am a theater director in residence in Fairmont, Minnesota, but I'm also a freelance theater, film director, stage and film actor. Do a little bit of voiceover, television, and online series work. And that's a little bit about me. I've been doing working in the media and entertainment industry for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. I've been working in the fitness industry for about 2 years now. And here I am now.
Well, we are certainly happy to have you on here. I know Rob is as excited as I am. And I do know that you were in a couple different little, would you call them short films or just films? How would you word these few different movies here?
So a couple of years ago, I guess I should say I grew up on stage, theater, and then after college for a year or so, I transitioned more into film. And so I've been in, I want to say, credited on IMDb about, I think, 3 or 4 films. One's a feature film, the other are short films. But in total, short films, not all of them are on IMDb. My resume says around 20 short films right now.
Wow.
Some of them I've created. Right now, I am producing a feature film, science fiction feature film, which is kind of fun to be on the other side of things, working with budget, location, scouting, talent scouting. So yeah, that's kind of a rundown.
Okay. What would you say, let me see, let me go back to this here. Do you like Static in the Water better, or do you like Who Knew? I seen you were in those two.
That's a good question. I think there's actually a story that comes with it. So I would say I had more. So both of those I worked with the same director, and on Who Knew was kind of my first introduction to a director. I just kind of had a small supporting character role, and then after I did that film and we streamed it in theaters for I think 2 weekends, it was just a short run in Minneapolis. The director actually reached back out to me, said, "Hey, I really enjoyed working with you. I really want to make you a lead in my next short film." And then we did Static in the Water, we actually drove down to I think it was southern Iowa for about 2 weekends, and we stayed at this resort type place. And I had a lot more fun with that one because I was the lead, but I was also an associate producer on it, so I helped kind of create the vision of the script and do talent scouting as well. Um, but yeah, I guess I would say I had more fun with that because I did a lot more method acting we experimented with. Like, for example, the story takes place, it's like post-apocalyptic time, and I lost my girlfriend in the apocalypse, and now we're at this, I guess, survival camp, for lack of a better term. And soon to learn, like, there's something poisonous in the water. And so my initiative in the film is to one, discover that there is something poisonous in the water. Two, tell people and before it's too late. And three, for the people that are too late, and for everyone else, how do we find a better source of water and hydration that isn't poisonous? So it's actually, I guess I would describe it as the genre I would describe as drama. And I did have a lot of fun with it. Of course, it was my first experience being on the both acting side and on the backstage side of producing it as well, which could be really hectic. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. I was trying to read it here, but I'm glad I heard you explain it rather than me reading it, because I probably would have kind of misjudged it possibly. Cool. How many people were acting in that? How many characters were there?
That's a good question. In Static in the Water, there were three main characters. It was me and my brother, quote unquote, in the film, and this other girl leader. And I think in total, with like ensemble and supporting characters and other people in the camp, I think we're at like 20 people in the short film. Plus, we had like maybe 10 people working crew. So some days we had 30 people on set, ranging from like the lead actor to the person operating the camera, the DP, and the person. We filmed this in the middle of July in southern Iowa. Some days it got up to about 100 degrees. I remember my outfit was, and we were probably shooting for 12 to 14 hours a day. I think I was wearing jeans.
What'd you guys shoot?
What was that?
What'd you guys shoot?
No, shooting, filming.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Sorry.
My outfit,
my
costume was jeans, like long blue jeans, boots, a long black shirt, and a flannel, like a thick flannel. And sometimes shooting 100 degrees was tough. So we had, like I said, people ranging from, the person behind the camera to the director to like, PA, production assistants, who would run around, wiping sweat off of our foreheads. So it was a lot of fun.
Did you guys hate that guy? Is that why he had that role, that job?
Some of the production assistants were like considered, how to say, like interns. So they weren't really even paid for the project. They were just walking around, feeding us, hydrating us.
Feeding you? They walk around with a little plate of grapes and like lower them in your guys' mouth.
Hey, they gotta learn sometime, man.
A big one for us was like, fruits and water, because like it was so easy to get dehydrated.
Yeah, in that heat, certainly.
They're preparing those interns for the job they're gonna get with Harvey Weinstein. Oh shit!
Oh, Jesus.
Oops.
Weinstein.
Ugh. So I got a question actually for you, because obviously you mentioned right now you're working on a project with the current pandemic going on. How's it going for you? I mean, obviously you got to be finding some stuff difficult.
Yes, that's an excellent question. So we started, I would say we started production on this, not production, pre-production, like creating and developing the vision. I went to the table with one of the directors I worked with before, like with an idea. This was maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. I was like, hey, I'm itching to make a film. I've never directed a film before. I've helped produce. I mostly direct theater. And so I came up to him. His name's Todd. I was like, hey, Todd, I have just an itch to create something here, this science fiction film. So like we workshopped the idea for a couple of weeks, and we brought it to the table with our visual effects lead and our gaffer, DP, and we have a script right now, and we have a little bit of a budget, which is nice because that gives us freedom to scout locations and stuff. What I would say right now is that the entertainment industry is definitely facing a crisis. I would say the independent film industry is facing a crisis. If you're not like big box Hollywood that can afford millions and millions of dollars for location scouts and COVID testing and quarantining your actors, it gets tough. The best thing we could do right now is, to our talent and actors and crew members, once we get to the production stage of things, to say, hey, just stay home as much as you can. But it's not like we can pay for like a hotel for everyone to quarantine on when they're not on set, which is tough. But no, it's good. It's right now we're aiming to shoot a short film, see how that tests out, and if that goes well, hopefully my vision of it is to bring it to the table to a couple investors to actually get a bigger budget to it, to create into a full feature science fiction film, because it is science fiction and we do have a visual effects lead, so we're doing a lot of science fiction work. It's a science fiction horror. Basically what the film is about this kid who dreams essentially, and basically when he dreams he like has these dreams of like different personalities. Like for example, this kid wakes up and all of a sudden he's eating breakfast, and we reveal that his breakfast is just like burnt sausages, something dumb like that, right? And then the second dream, he's like this hostage in a kidnapping and he gets shot. Then the third dream, he's in a hospital bed and there's like elevator music, calm music, and we pan over and we see like there's this creature with holes all over his face eating his finger. And the next dream is like this guy on a hospital bed, like surrounded by aliens, and like the roof opens up, and all of a sudden, right before we cut to the kid waking up, we see like a huge tentacle from the sky come down and like snatch right into like a POV almost. And then at the end, he wakes up and he goes downstairs, just kind of shakes it off, whatever, just a couple of bad dreams. And the camera pans over as he's eating breakfast and pans over to the TV to a news channel revealing that a man was just shot and the hostage, basically kind of revealing that everything that he's dreaming is real. Like he's dreaming and he's viewing this real life circumstances that are happening. So it's just a fun little thing that we're doing right now. We are in the pre-production phase. What that means is we're still gathering crew, gathering equipment, locking down locations. And that's a kind of answer your question, Rob. It's a different ball game in terms of COVID. It's a double-edged sword because one, a lot of like locations, for example, let's say we needed to be like in a restaurant for one of the shoots, or we needed to be in a hotel or something. A lot of people more weary because like, okay, there's COVID. If you guys don't have really good production insurance, they'll say no. But on the other hand, a lot of businesses want that money that we're able to offer to say, hey, okay, you guys are going to pay me, a couple of grand, for example, for a couple of hours. I need the money. My business is suffering right now because of COVID. Go ahead and do it. So it's all about like finding out the right locations, seeing who wants to work with us. Talent is another thing. A lot of the scenes that we're shooting can't really be that intimate because we can't afford to have two people kissing and smooching exactly in the middle of a pandemic. And
dick sucking?
No, unfortunately not.
Man.
Oh no.
That's pretty intimate.
Yeah, so the nice thing, we did get a really nice camera. Our camera is a Blackmagic Cinema 6K camera, so it's cinema quality, which is really nice. So it's really turning around. It's really shaping into something, but it's been a lot more of a slower and cautious process than anything that I've ever been a part of, honestly.
Yeah, for
Oh boy,
sure.
it'd be real nice. You gave that camera an endorsement. I mean, if we could pay for that, it'd be fantastic. I mean, look, you just got a free endorsement. You cheap
That's right.
bastards. I mean, honestly, I guess I'm just looking at it right now. As you said, the independent film industry is taking a hit, and I think a lot of people just assume with the way filming goes. Obviously, there's not really that many movies that are out there. I guess right now that are brand new. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention, but I would assume
Yeah,
every movie that's going to be made now is going to be from like Paramount or Sony. They're all going to be big time pictures. Universal, the companies that can afford that right now. Obviously, the companies that'll pay almost $200 million to create another Avengers film, that type of
right.
thing. I can't believe that's and they get that budget, which is insane. And then these independent guys maybe get like 50,000. They don't get
Right.
much, but they turn
I
magic
mean,
out of it, and
I think
that's what I like. I like seeing that.
it's a blessing in disguise because I think as artists, like if we had no boundaries at all, I feel like the film would suck. Like having boundaries and having limits to work under kind of helps influence art. Like on one thing, it sucks because we don't have a huge budget and we can't have thousands of people on set. Good thing about it, it challenges us to become creative with what we're doing and still make these films interesting, while safe to shoot and plan. Um, so that's really nice. I think a lot of the films that are coming out right now in theaters or Netflix, Redbox, HBO, Hulu, whatever, it allows like people who have been working on post production for their films that maybe were shot 2 years ago or a year ago to actually release them because streaming services are really hot right now for buying films. If they're up to quality, a lot of people are getting their faces out there. That maybe wouldn't have had the opportunity if COVID hadn't happened. So like I said, double-edged sword, kind of a blessing in disguise, maybe. I do know it just forces creativity a little bit more.
You guys should make animation, but with the coronavirus, and you should be the white blood cells or one of the white blood cells. It could be like that Osmosis Jones, but it could be like it could be like it could be like a catchy name. It'd be
I'd
like
love to
that,
see a
but
sequel.
Raghu can voice the one of the white blood cells, so it'll be like stop you foul piece of shit. And the coronavirus would be like be some like really gritty sounded like evil voice person like, hey man, you better get the fuck out of my face and the fucking stab you a few there, lad.
I
Some
feel like
really
voice acting would be so much easier than
Yeah,
actual
have you ever thought about
on-screen.
that? Right.
But
You ever
like voice
thought
acting,
about that? Yeah.
yeah, believe it or not, like voice acting is super fun, but it's actually super cutthroat industry. Like people go to years and years and years of voice acting training and just like vocal training, not even like singing or anything, but like speech training, to actually be part of voiceover and stuff. I haven't dabbled myself into it too much, but maybe the way things are going might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
People go for years for voice acting. I mean, have you watched South Park?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys
All
are
right.
voicing celebrity of like cameos and stuff, and it's just so horrible. It doesn't even sound like them. And they even put the disclaimer on there, like, "Yeah, this is not going to be
Well, that's the
at all
thing. Like
perfectly imitated."
shows like South Park and Family Guy are so well known. They could just butcher something and people will still
True.
love it.
They have those.
And now, if
I
you're a
know.
new animation trying to make it and your sound quality is awful and your speech is bad, people are just gonna shit on it.
No, I suppose, yeah, you're not going to be in like a big Disney animation. I don't think just yet, at least. I mean, well, they put The Rock in it. I mean, come on.
That's true.
Think about him in a film. I mean, at that point, it's like anybody could do it. I think. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Let's be real here with that. I think realistically though, with voice acting, I just feel like it's easier because you're in a studio. Obviously, right now we're recording with our voices, and we're just talking. It's easy. It's simple. It's like, oh, here we go. This is all we got to do. We don't have the pressure of a camera beaming down on us. Yeah, you might
Right.
have to read from a script, but I don't know. I just feel like it would personally be easy, especially now in COVID where nobody can be super intimate or nothing. You can't have intimate scenes. You can't have sex scenes. You can't have any of that stuff. You can just go into the
Sex
studio
scenes.
and pretend to be an anime character, like what Andrew likes. You know, pretend to be a Japanese
Whoa! Hang on,
child.
just
And
a minute there. I
what
supported
do
Trump.
you mean?
I supported Trump when he said he was going to ban anime.
You did not.
I
You
did.
still are busy
That's why I
watching
voted for him.
Baku no Beep or whatever the hell it is, and all that
Trump,
other
he vowed to
nonsense.
get rid of it. He was trying to get rid of TikTok, and then anime was gonna be next.
TikTok didn't work though.
No,
It
because
didn't
some
pan out the
who
way that he
bought
wanted.
TikTok? Some piece of crap bought that
Oh, who
and
knows?
saved it from its eternal doom in the
It's
United
probably
States.
Raghu. He bought it for like a cheap price.
You bought it, Raghu? You bought
He took all
that?
of his
I bought it
Bitcoin
when
mining.
stocks were low.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what else is TikTok in your life for buying that shit.
I don't think it's as popular now, is it though? I mean, is it still up there in popularity?
I don't
like
think
TikTok.
so.
I feel
TikTok?
like it went down because of what happened. You know,
No,
people get
it's still really popular.
I guess I don't know. I don't watch it. You know, I mean,
For
I
a
know
lot of
you
content comes from now. It's like a new Vine.
do. You know, well, Vine
What
was
is like a new
okay.
Vine? Vine was
All right.
weird time.
Moving on to the other half of
I want to talk
Ragu's.
about Goombas. Goombas.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about?
Goombas, man. Those little things that get on the bottom of your foot.
What?
I thought
I
you were
don't
talking
ever
about
get
Mario
worse.
Goomba. What are you talking about? I was like, what?
Those are like little warts on feet. Goombas.
Don't think I have those.
All right. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by
Got
this,
one wart on my foot when I was
we're
10.
going to jump into the world of health and well-being, seeing as though a lot of people need a little help there. Me being one of them.
Help me!
I would
Help
say,
me!
because you mentioned you co-manage a personal, what do you mean by that? Is that like,
Yeah, so
is it
I
like a
work for.
separate from the
I got
gym?
a health question. Does this look infected, Raghu? Here, check this out.
Gee, stuff.
What are these little purple bumps out here?
You know, the listeners can't see the video, so whatever you
Yeah,
show,
that
might as
was-
well save it for Pornhub there, buddy.
Can use their imagination.
No, I would never put my nudes on Pornhub. I'd only do OnlyFans. Make more money that way.
You're right. I mean, it was only 2 inches. So good for them.
Oh,
What was the question?
I don't like it. Anyway, before I was again rudely interrupted by
put 2 inches of this fucking knife in your throat, you little shit.
co-managing a personal training group or business, whatever. Is that separate from the gym, or is that connected in some way, or is it just like you guys are contracted? I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, so think of it like so there's Lifetime. Let's just think of the specific club location I'm at right now. So there's Lifetime
Yep.
Fitness overall. And in Lifetime Fitness, I guess any Lifetime Fitness, there is multiple departments, I should say. Meaning like Lifetime Fitness is just like the umbrella term for what is offered in. So Lifetime Fitness is the umbrella. Underneath it, you have multiple departments like spa and salon, kids care, personal training. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Tennis, Ultimate Hoops, Lifetime Sport. And so one of the businesses or departments that is very common in most of the clubs that you'll visit is the personal training department. And I just
Training department?
personal training.
It's a
I'm sorry. My ears are not tuned in today.
Personal training department. And so I co-manage, I should say. So it's me and 2 other guys who co-manage the personal training department. What that looks like is I do still train. So I train people, but I also kind of help manage a sub-team of trainers, kind of hit corporate expectations when it comes to budget, management, revenue, cash flow, anything along those lines. That's kind of my job.
So it's a department so Lifetime Fitness, like you said, has all these split departments, and you're in charge of one of them pretty much. You're just like, okay, I run this with so and so, and then obviously, if basketball's got their own. Okay, I see what you're saying there. I thought you guys were like
Yeah.
contracted. You're like, okay, yeah, we're
Nope.
gonna hire you guys for 5 years or whatever. You come in here and
Yep. So let's say there's 5 different clubs. For example, like one in
Mhm.
Chanhassen, one in Egan, one in Minnetonka, whatever. 5 of them, 3 or 5. Um,
Mhm.
I think in total there's like 140 clubs or whatever. There's personal training in each one, and each club has their own manager, for example. And I'm just the manager in my specific club, assistant manager with other managers too.
A good deal. So, I mean, obviously, are you still personal training people, or are you just kind of now in the background? You're just kind of like, okay, I don't have to
I
go
would
out
say
there and do that anymore.
I do still train people. One, just because I like it a lot. Two, it is part of like what should I say? Like my comp plan, my compensation plan. Like I still train people, but I still do management. So yeah,
I was gonna say you got to have those usual customers that are still like, no, I want you to train me, not
yeah. I
this
mean,
person. This
the
person
people
tried to
from
feel me
when
up.
I still started to
This
now.
trainer tried to fuck me in the ear while I was doing a squat.
Again, this is all a joke. We're not saying any of them tried that. We don't know anything about that.
No,
All
no, I seen it.
right?
I was
Oh
one who
yeah.
tried it.
Well,
Jesus,
and that's why Snap Fitness is going down clearly.
and that's
Yeah,
why
So,
they booted me out. They're like, yeah, we can't have your ear fuckers in here anymore. It's like,
oh, Jesus.
man, whose ears am I gonna fuck?
Oh.
that's rough.
Sexual harassment is not a joke, but I mean,
No, it's not, but you can joke about it in a certain
well,
sense.
clearly, I mean, you're getting away with it right now.
Do you guys feel sexually harassed right now?
I do a little bit,
Well, you can shove that straight up your ass
but it's nothing new.
if
I
you
mean, it's
want.
every episode.
Every
Anyway,
episode's a new opportunity.
Yeah. Well, obviously, health and well-being is a big thing for people, but I don't think Americans understand health and well-being that well. I don't think they understand
Right, bro. I think
clearly.
they understand. I think they just don't give
And
a fuck. I think it's totally
do you
the
think they understand meal portioning and and proper
I think they
exercise?
understand that they need to do it and like the concept of it, but I don't think they understand how like important it is. I just think they don't care about much because they just want to continue to eat sugar and fill up on carbs and eat McDonald's after soccer practice and be fat.
I think
I
people
mean, I just,
overcomplicate fitness.
yeah.
True.
Well, again, I'm just saying, based on
Everybody goes in
obviously
and
like a personal trainer, right? You create a regimen for people. You kind of get something down, like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we're gonna develop over time. But do you think that the first person that comes in there, they try it, and then it's like, yeah, this isn't for me. I need to go back to my couch. I mean, isn't that kind of the mentality a lot of the time, or do people
It is.
really stick with it? I mean, I don't.
No, so it's all how you, as a personal trainer, set up your expectations. Like for me, anyone who works with me, I have 4 kind of umbrella things that people need to follow if they want to work with me and if they want to succeed. The first thing is mindset. I think mindset is very important. I think it starts there. If you don't have mindset and you don't have patience and you're not willing to cast a vision and know how you have to work for it along with me, then you're never going to succeed. No matter how hard you work, no matter how perfect your diet is, if your mindset isn't right, if you have a really shitty attitude about how you're going to execute this or how tough this is or whatever, ultimately you're going to burn out and you're going to try it for a month or so. You're going to be, okay, this isn't what I really want. 2 is exercise. You need consistency. I think a lot of people kind of want to, jump into a program and see results overnight. And
go in there and go hard, bust ass, get tired for the rest of the week, and not show up again.
Exactly, and that's tough.
Gotta go hard, man. First day in there, I gotta lift the whole goddamn gym up and throw it at someone and kill them and get away with it.
You're making your dog
so
bark.
that would be a great example. And
then I'm gonna have abs and 5 dicks for the rest of my life.
Oh,
yes, and It doesn't work. So like you need to understand like how to phase yourself, like how you start from a phase of like, for example, stabilizing and increasing your mobility to then you start to add load and work on endurance, and then you get to a phase of performance. It's like it takes time. And it all depends like what your goals are, what your schedule is. Third thing's always nutrition. And I always tell people like unless if you're like specifically training for like a bodybuilding show or if you're like an athlete, but if you're just an average Joe who's just trying to be fit, like don't overcomplicate like what you put in your body. Just eat healthy. You know, a lot of people know how to eat healthy. You just have to do it. And there's a balance too.
Right.
Like you don't want to just if you want to hit your goals, right? You don't just want to eat chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life. There needs a balance of, okay, we're humans, we're friends, we like to go out and eat with friends, we like to have drinks every once in a while, and you shouldn't feel
Gotta
bad
have
about it.
variety.
Yeah. And so, like, I preach balance in diet too, but also simpleness. And last thing is like stress, sleep and stress, like how you manage your stress levels as well. That's really
Ooh, I
important.
think that's like the biggest one. I think a lot of people these days are stressing, especially with like political criterias and like social media platforms and just the news and negative people, having effects on people around them and stuff like that, and just all of that kind of accumulates, and people don't know how
Yeah.
to handle it emotionally.
Well, going off of that, how much sleep would you recommend for somebody that's
Sleep
working like a
too.
normal schedule? Like, let's say you're working 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. What would
Yeah.
be the recommended amount?
It all
6.
depends, like what your schedule looks like and what your activity load during the day is, and your age and stuff. I'd say like a generic person, I always recommend 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Nothing lower than 6. 7 to 8 is like that sweet spot, of course. But I guess it depends on your activity level. If you just sit on your ass in your IT and you just stare at a screen for 8 hours a day, you probably don't need that much
Jack off the
more.
split.
Yeah, you don't need that much more sleep. Um, for example, if you're a construction worker that's on the feet all day and you need to perform the next day, you probably need a little bit more sleep than the guy who just works IT, even though, it is mentally draining, but that's just an example.
So,
Uh,
yeah, if you're a desk worker, clearly too, they're sitting down most of the day. They probably are also when they get home, go out and do something, go out for a run, whatever it may be, and then
mhm.
get your 6 hours in. That's what I would think. And then I guess yeah, if you're a union laborer, which we all know about those guys, I think definitely 8 hours would be grand for them, but they're always complaining that they never get enough. So I don't know what would
A
be
lot of times,
recommended for them at this point.
it's just kind of people who complain they don't have enough sleep is one of two people. The first person is like genuinely 24 hours in a day isn't enough. Like think of
Mhm.
like the single mom, for example, that works 8 hours a day, and then she has to come home and cook, and then she has to help kids with homework, and then she has to put kids away, and then maybe yes, she has to work on, her own education. Let's say she's going for like a master's degree. All of a sudden it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and she has to wake up at 6 o'clock. That's just life. But there's the people who sleep and lack of sleep is just kind of self-inflicted. The person who has to wake up at 6 o'clock every day, but decides that playing video games until 2 o'clock in the morning just seems like bigger of a priority. It's like
Oof.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, then you
Amen,
got that
brother.
Xander waking up. Oh boy, I don't get enough sleep, and he's whining all day. Oh man, my shit sucks.
Don't whine all
We
day.
don't want any
Don't do
whiners
that
in
shit.
here. Get out of here.
No, I'm around people all day who sit and whine about being tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I can't fall asleep at night. I got my phone in my face. I'm tired. I'm
it's
tired.
kind of like
That's it.
when it comes back to mindset, I think it's all about like who you surround yourself with too. And this is something that Andy and I have talked a lot about. Um, like exclude friends, like exclude your best friends, exclude your partners and whatever. But like think of like on a daily basis. Like if you want to be a millionaire, chances are on a daily basis, if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you're going to end up being a millionaire. If you want to be a successful podcaster, and if you work around 5 different podcasters who are successful every single day, chances are you're going to learn the ropes how to be that too. It's like who you surround yourself with. If you could think of the 5 top people, again, excluding your best friends, excluding your partners, but the 5 people you spend the most time with, and how are they influencing your life? Chances are that's how you're living your life too.
Right.
Good point.
Environment has an effect on people's everyday lives, and just it kind of grafts out who they are as a person over time, whether they like it or not. Sometimes we don't get a choice who we're around. Obviously, when you go to work, you can't pick who you work with. I mean, when you go to work, most people they're obligated to work with the same people every day, and
Mhm.
it's hard to escape that. So I wonder what the solution is with kind of escaping through that,
Well,
getting away
I've
from the negativity and stuff.
personally learned in that regard, it's all about how you respond to it. How do you react to the situation? Obviously, if they're getting on your nerves, yeah, it's gonna bug you, but if you don't really let it entirely affect you and you just kinda like, "Okay, well, I see why they're doing this. They've been doing it every day. I'm not gonna let it bug me." You move on, you get better, but obviously, if you let it bug you, it's gonna you're gonna turn into that person, I think, eventually
Yeah,
within
and it
time.
doesn't always have to
I've
be
learned
like
that from my work.
And it doesn't always have to be like job quality, right? Or like job specific. It can also be like human qualities and like what the person, like what the people in your life, what qualities do they have? Do they have integrity? Do they have discipline? Do they have, motivation? Is that something that you're trying to work on yourself? And maybe this person's inspiring you because they have a lot of that quality that you want. Chances are you learn how to develop that, but also knowing how to yes, kind of like what Rob said, maybe there is that one person or two people in your life that you have to see every single day, and they're just that negative presence and they're annoying as shit. Kind of like a little fly in your ear. It's kind of learning how to not tune them out because you still have to acknowledge them and work with them, whatever, but how to not let that influence your day. Because humans are really the saying of like attitude is contagious. I know for me, for example, if I'm around negative people, I get pissed off too, and I get negative, and that's something I have to work on. But how do you use this as an advantage of, and it's not an ego thing, like if someone's negative all the time, how do you be a positive source and kind of have them look up to you? So it all kind of plays hand in hand.
Right. And I think like when you're trying to be a positive person in a pool of people who are a little more negative than you and not, being as positive as they could towards things and people around them, I think like they just um goodness, my fucking train of thought just like ran away from me. I'm like, dude, my brain's all over the place today. What was
Ugh.
I saying
Every
again?
damn episode, you just you lose it.
I'm
You
not
lose
like
it.
I'm not like mentally prepared for these. I'm like I think planning is my weakness. Like I'm not disciplined for planning, but yeah, like
Clearly.
it's hard not to feel egotistical when you're being positive around negative people, because then like they look at you, like they make you think that your ego is getting the best of you because the way they like react to you and they manipulate it, like they're like, oh, you're just being over positive, or you think you're better than me, you think you're all that, and you're trying to get attention, this and
Yeah,
that, and I'm jealous of this. Like basically they're saying they're jealous of
it's
what
kind of
you're
like
doing and they don't like it.
I learned this as I stepped into a new leadership role myself. It's like you can't try to win everyone at once. There's this thing called a circle of influence, right? Like, for example, let's say you had 10 people in the workplace, um, excluding you, and you're this one person, and everyone else is negative. Chances are, and you're trying to be this positive person and try to turn everything around for the company. Chances are you're not going to do that right away. People are going to look at you. People are going to hate you. People are going to resent you because they're like, oh, this guy's just trying way too hard, for example.
Right.
But there's potentially going to be in time that one or two other people who are going to be like, oh, I kind of like this guy. I'm going to join his train and join his circle of influence. And then people tend to see that success and that camaraderie and that circle of influence that was once small continues to grow. And now it's 3 people are positive, 10 people are negative. 2 months down the road, now it's 4 people are positive, 6 people are negative, and it keeps on growing and growing and growing. But I see where a lot of new leaders tend to burn themselves out when it comes to positivity, is they try to change everyone at once. Where you could just start small and work with the people who want to work with you, and then build from there. That's where you're going to find the most success. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to the saying of, you can help people who want to be helped. You could lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it. I always go back to that one. And that's your job. Your job is to lead that horse to water. Your job isn't to force it to drink, So I would just keep that in mind.
And I kind of, like you said, that obviously that analogy there. I mean, I got one of my own now that I use, which is you can give a man roses, but you can't force him to like it. I mean, that's the best way you can go about it. Ain't that right, Andrew?
Oh, does somebody want a rose?
Well, I mean, you give men
I
roses.
don't know
where
would you put the rose, in your ear or in your ass?
Let me ask you that, Regular. Let me ask you: would you give another man roses? Would you do that? And why is the answer no?
Wait, he said I didn't hear him say no. When did he
I can give you the answer right now.
I mean, I think depending on what the roses symbolize.
Okay.
Oh, what they symbolize?
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
they symbolize somebody that forgot totally about it. That's what it is. Come on.
No,
would you give a man who likes wildlife and ripping gills? Would you give him roses?
I don't
think
think
it's just a guy I've never met. No, I would not give him roses.
Who knows what you're talking about? I think he thinks you're sounding insane.
It's just a common question. I mean, come on, we're just trying to get this out there.
Hey, man, roses are cool. All right, I mean they're not the best flower, but they're pretty cool. They smell like poo poo.
Got thorns too. Tough
True.
life. All right, I gotta talk about this topic really quick here because obviously we need to dive into some humor really quick, and I think that that'll help this podcast move along towards the end of it. Let me ask you about this brand new idea that Bill Gates had. A technology man is going to create a vaccine. I mean, what's up with that? What's up with that?
Is there going to be a chip in the arm? Or in the wrist?
Think people are wondering about that. They're going to install a track.
There's going to be some biological entanglement with technology, and they're going to somehow code a program to reset our biological meter or whatever you want to call it, or clocks, and change and regulate things inside of you via
I don't know too much about this, Rob. Tell me more.
Well, Bill Gates decided to jump into the vaccine game and try to create one for COVID-19. And from what I'm hearing, the results here for the testing is not going too well. I've heard a lot of bad things. I can't be 100% sure. Again, it's all clinical trials, and most of the stuff is anonymous. But I guess people are not having a good time. They're getting even sicker. I mean,
at least he's got the money to try it.
That makes Xbox.
I can relate to that. I'm always getting sicker in the head. I'm sick in the head.
Well, I mean, come on. Let's just think about this here. Why would somebody who creates a console like Xbox decide that he wants to start doing medicinal experimentation? I mean, come on, this is fucked up. You might as well just clone stuff. I think that would be a better way of going.
I think he decided it was time to switch things up, man. I don't know. It was a new calling.
Yeah.
I love how this is under the comedy portion of tonight.
Oh, because it's funny, isn't it? It's funny that somebody would dive into that.
Amazing.
It's just odd. It's odd. It's an odd thing.
Yeah, I don't know what Bill Gates' goal there is. I didn't. When was this information released? When did we see this?
Well, again, I've been listening to various other podcasts that I tune into, and right away that's what I'm hearing is, oh yeah, Bill Gates is coming up with a vaccine that is not going to work whatsoever.
Everybody come up with a vaccine.
I think so.
Rosie O'Donnell's coming
Jeff
up.
Bezos is jumping into it too, but not
Betty
entirely
Crocker. Betty Crocker's got one coming out. It's gonna sell it in little cookie
Yeah.
bags.
And we want flour in our fucking veins. That's what we want.
Chloride flour.
Hey, good for the guy to try it, but come on, man. Let's not get ahead of ourselves with trying to create a vaccine for everybody when you know it's not going to work all the time.
And
just can't believe.
can we just go back to 2019 and then like skip 2020? Can we just like go from 2019 to 2021?
COVID started in 2019.
Not the beginning of it though. It was towards more the end of it.
Let's go back to 2015.
Oh,
2015. Yeah. Ooh, good year.
2015, graduating high school. Not sure what I'm gonna do in my life. Yeah, it was great. Missed those years.
Show the shame for me. I want to kill myself.
That's not good.
Literally, 2015 was this. Oh yeah, we just graduated high school. Hey Andrew, you want to get into a shopping cart and get thrown into the lake?
You should tell our audience members and Andrew about our little experience with a cult a couple weeks ago.
Yes, of course, horror stories. Actually, this is a good one to jump into. Raghu's got plenty of them.
Too much.
Well, I did address it. Sadly, the audio got deleted in our first episode. We jumped into spooky shit. But yeah, obviously, Raghu and myself, we were driving on this island here in Minnesota. It's called Gray Cloud Island. It's known for native burial grounds. I suppose, again, I don't know everything about this island, but that's just what I've read. And we were driving down there. It's the second time we've been down there. And we're driving to go to this cemetery that's kind of laid back in the woods a little bit. There's somebody parked outside the gate because there's
never anyone there.
Yeah, there's like a little there's like a little spot where you can drive down. It's all dirt, but they have a gate there. And there's somebody
never anyone there.
The gate. Yeah, there was normally nobody goes there. Again, this is a cemetery that's hidden. And you
can go on Google Maps to find it.
We're driving down the road, and out of nowhere, there's this car there with lights on, whatever. And I've got two other cars behind me following me the entire way.
That's scary.
And as we're driving down, we're just like, okay, well, we're gonna skip this. We're gonna go and just drive around in a circle, see if the person leaves. And we're going past a bunch of these homes now. They're kind of nicer homes. And outside one, there's like a group of 13 teenage girls, probably middle schoolers, wearing similar clothing.
The same sweater.
Standing out there. Yeah, they're sitting there one of them's waving me like, yeah, stop here. Like, oh, God, I don't know about that. I mean, this looks bad. And they're so like close in the road where I could almost hit them. And it's like the road is already small as it is. There's not much space. It's not a two-way road.
But I think the scariest part for me was when they were waving at us. They were like smiling, all encouraging. Then as I see that we're not going to stop. We just kept driving. Their like demeanor changed. Like they got pissed off.
They went from like this happy like come on, join us. Everything's fine here. And then when we were driving right past, they knew we weren't going to stop. It was like they seen like the devil himself. They all just went right into like this.
They got pissed.
Look, that was just like
they knew it. They found out they weren't getting fed souls for the night, so they got angry.
It was very eerie. So we moved past there, and then we go down the road a little bit. There's two parts of the island, and we go to the second part where they've got like this camp down there. I'm not really sure what's at this camp. Probably some bad things that are part of the Catholic Church. But we're going down this road, and there's a private drive. Keep in mind, we're still being followed by two vehicles.
Same vehicles.
And we're going down there. It's a dead end now. There's a private road, and it literally says on there, it's private road, no trespassing. I turn around like, okay, well, if we get caught here, I'm going to try to scoot out of here as quick as possible. One car flies down the private road, just fucking cruising. It's like a Grand Prix. Went right down the private road, almost like something bad happened, like they got somebody in their trunk. And then we got a Suburban following us, and they turn around with us. So I pull up, and I'm like, okay, we're going to park here for a minute. We're just going to let these guys pass us. And they do, but they're passing us at like 5 miles per hour. It was just
the tough part is like the only way out is the way back that we came in too.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. It's like you have to go that way or else you're kind of, stuck on the island. And again, this is an island that's got obviously, it's got homes, it's got people living there, but it also has a lot of weird little quirky things about it. It's got this camp that you can read the reviews on Google. They're almost non-existent. These reviews are almost like predictable reviews, like it's like a robot typing it. And then you've got this home behind the camp, way on this private road, this home where there's a patch of trees that just has a random opening in it, a random circular opening, almost a perfect circle. Like as if it was like Bohemian Grove, where you got these people living out there and they're having orgies and stuff and burning crosses and God knows what else.
Jesus.
It's so weird, but you can't go down there again. It's a private road, but the Grand Prix went down there. They didn't give a damn. But it's just a weird place, man. Yeah, we went back and there was no car at the cemetery. We went back the same way. The car was gone. We're just like, well, at least me, I'm thinking, all right, I don't really want to be out here anymore. I've had enough. I've seen enough already. I don't need to go to a cemetery. And I think we can both agree that was a very trembling adventure. that was
Yeah, I remember my adrenaline was up, especially when we had to go back the way we came, and seeing these girls again. Luckily, there was a different way out.
Yeah, but they were still there. They were in the middle of the road.
And the things like they were like playing too. They were like, it looked like they were playing like Ring Around the Rosie or something.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I mean, it's before Halloween we went out there because I remember driving through I think it was Cottage Grove, and there's like this kid, and like it's dark night, it's 9:30 at night, and there's this kid standing right on the curb all by himself with a mask on, and he's just like tilting his head at every car that passes by. And it's like, what is going on over here? Oh man. I'm watching that like, oh, this is already a bad sign. There's just nothing good's gonna come out of it tonight. But man, it was fun, to experience such an odd thing. But boy, and the stories you were telling me in the car, man, that like got me even more worked up. I was just like, oh God, I can't do this anymore. This is rough.
Yeah, it was definitely a time. I would like to go back, but honestly, I feel like genuinely freaked out.
I need Andrew to go with though. He knows how to fucking taunt them. He knows how to taunt the soul.
Oh, I should have been there.
Go out and talk to the girls.
I would have.
Yeah, he can get out. He can be like, "Hey, baby."
I would have been like, no, what the fuck? I would have said, "Oh, you guys want to eat these guys' souls? All right. How much you got? I'll sell you them.
Oh,
Sell you their souls. I mean, I'd offer you mine, but I don't have one anymore. I all gone."
What a time! Oh boy, I was ready to write up the note, man. If you're reading this, it's too late. I was waiting. I was pairing it up. Oh man, that was spooky. That was fun.
I'm jealous I wasn't there for that. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, your broke ass needs to get some gas money.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it's cold now.
That moment.
Weather's gonna start getting chilly. All right.
My dad's asking what we want for dinner. I said, Acapulco.
I'm making venison steaks tonight.
Ooh, I might get some Chinese food, man. I'm feeling it.
I gotta go to the grocery store, figure something out here. It's dark already, I can tell, but
I know it feels like it's super late, but it's only 5:08, man.
Yeah,
feels like it's like 9 o'clock.
Get something to cook up. I'm thinking some chicken and something. I don't know. Debating. Well, guys, any last thoughts before we decide to shut this campaign down here? What are we? Anything else you guys want to talk about really quick here?
I would just like to talk about what was it? Hold on. I had something earlier while you guys were talking. I was listening to you guys. I had something cool to talk about. I'm watching two geckos fuck each other right now.
I'll mention today Alex Trebek from Jeopardy passed away. Seen that.
I just
Thank God, finally.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. I don't even.
Yeah, as in like now he's not suffering, or as in like I hate the show. I don't know what you're.
I'm kidding. I honestly don't even know who that is. Like if I seen a
Jeopardy.
picture of my.
You know the show Jeopardy, where all the
Yeah.
smart people
Yep.
go and answer questions and they make money that they probably don't need.
Oh, this guy. Okay. Yeah, I've seen him before. I just looked him
He had
up.
like cancer. He was already kind of on his way down. I think he had stage 4, so I don't know.
Oh,
It's long
that's
anyway, but
poor guy.
he's 80. I mean,
Maybe he deserved it. Maybe he did something bad.
oh,
Maybe karma got him caught
I
up
can't
with
see
him.
somebody being a game show host for like their career doing anything bad. Like they just
Well,
see them like drinking when they get home. Like God, I can't take
Right.
myself anymore. I can't fucking handle
you
this
know,
shit.
that's what we thought about Tom Hanks, and now look at it. Now look at him. What
I don't want to look at him.
do you think of
Yeah,
Tom?
go
What do you think of Tom Hanks, Raghu?
I don't. I think he had. I don't think. I'm trying to think. Like everyone has a prime. Every entertainer has a prime time.
Where was his prime time?
Like
Castaway.
prime. Like even like an athlete. Like this
Toy
person.
Story.
I don't know. I don't think Tom Hanks had a specific prime.
In the 90s, for sure, I would say. He had a lot of films that were big time box office.
Forrest Gump is probably one of his best
Yeah.
movies.
Saving Private Ryan.
It's a good one too.
Obviously, Toy Story made him a ton of money.
Hell yes.
Like I said, Castaway. That would be the other one I'd throw in there because I know he made a lot of money off of that. But is he best friends with Jeff Epstein or was? I don't know. a lot of that going around. I mean, I guess you can't fly in his private jet anymore.
It's true.
All right. Well, anyway, Raghu, any last thoughts before we decide to call it a day?
Not really. I guess I would say to kind of recap what we all said today. Like I think a big theme is, I don't know, just as cheesy as it sounds, I would say everyone just make sure you're taking care of yourself, especially now. Both health wise, mentally wise. To make sure you're just being smart about yourself. Like don't be egotistical right now. So yeah.
Well,
That's some very good advice. I'd say it's pretty
this
good.
episode is titled "Life Goes On." Obviously, as you know, with all the recent craziness we just seen in this week, and it is still going on technically, but we know what's going to happen. But yeah, life goes on. We can't sit here and determine.
Kamala Harris 2020.
We got to move on. That's
super leftist Kamala Harris going to be running the country. I can't wait, man. She's gonna tear shit up.
And this is why we brought Raghu on, because he is somebody that will tell you right away you need to live a stress-free life, and I think you'll be happy. I'm sure everybody would agree, but some people like the stress. They like constantly being under duress and pressured.
I don't think they like the stress. I think they like the competitive and like the competitiveness and the obstacles and the force resisting them. Like just the fact that they have to try and put more work into it. They have to be the tens of themselves, the top tier of the best version they can be. I think that's what they enjoy. I don't think anybody really enjoys stress. Maybe there is though. Maybe there is. I don't really think there is, but some people just might like that feeling, but I don't see why. That's crazy.
Fair point. All right, this is another great episode of The Strange Exchange. We're going to go ahead and shut her down here. Obviously, if you want to
shut her down
right now, go ahead and get them out.
Would you say shout outs?
All right, go ahead and shout out anybody. Go ahead.
I'll shout out Mandy Quinn from Holiday in Annandale, Minnesota. Then
shout out, we're never going to do
we'll give a shout out to Tyler Reed, to T Reed. We know he was on the past episode, and hope to see him on some future ones.
Sorry.
I'll give another shout out to to Taylor Stingray. Taylor Stingray, and then my last one, shout out to, again, I think I gave a shout out to him last time, Ryan to sign in, who I hope that we can get on here and do a podcast with him. He's a
Why don't
pretty
you shout out
interesting dude.
your buddy B-Mall? Didn't you just have a kid?
Oh yes, yeah. I'll give a shout out to B-Mall too. He just had his daughter here, I think a couple days ago. Her name's Sabrina. It's actually kind of, not to toot me on a horn, but I guessed her name in the first guess, so feel pretty cool.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
that's pretty weird.
Oh man, I'm so
But
proud. You got that.
congratulations to B-Mall. We're all proud of him, and we all celebrated with him this past August and stuff, and had a good time. So props to Big Daddy B-Mall. So hopefully it becomes a great father and a great person.
Thank you to Raghu for joining us today. It was a treat
And
to have you, a treat to hear about a lot of the stuff you got going on, all the great projects you've been in. You can find him. He is on the International Movie Database. You can look him up. He's on there. I don't think there's much added on there. I'm sure he doesn't really pay attention to it, but he is on there. You can also catch him at Lifetime Fitness in Egan if you want to catch him. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll also emphasize that he's a very, very well managed personal trainer. He works in Egan in Minnesota, and he's just a very, very talented and well put together person, and somebody who's easy to train with and understand. He puts things together for piece, and highly recommend people sitting at home to be active and get out and do some physical things with their lives.
Absolutely. I mean, basically, I got to train with him a couple of times. He basically just said, "Boy, you're fat," and then he fucking threw me on a treadmill, and yeah, now look at me, I'm still fat. I don't want to go back. I'm afraid. No, but he does a really good job. Obviously, it's a very nice gym, very clean. Even during this time, it's very, very clean, and people there are kind of nice. I got a lot of very beautiful women there. I'll give you them that. And yeah, we got a dog in here. We got dogs, but
I'm a dog.
Thank you, Raghu, on behalf of the show. We appreciate having you on here. Hope to have you on here again to talk some more. Maybe we'll talk.
This one was a little tame, but I think our next one with Raghu, I think we should just go off the deep end a little more. But this one was good, but like I said, it was just it was a little more tame, but that's okay because we're just getting people to introduce Raghu to people and let them kind of figure out who he is. So
he's got
thanks for having me.
Yep.
All right, that'll do it here. For anybody that listened, I guess thanks. Hope you enjoy. If not, too fucking bad, I guess.
Fuck you, man. You're gonna enjoy it.
I mean, boy, I can't wait to see the 2 viewers that enjoy this. Yeah, great. Hopefully there's more. But anyway, we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Bye. We'll talk to you later.